Hello, friends. Good morning to all. My name is Saikant Reddy, and today we are going to discuss about the introduction of reflecting of light at curved surfaces. So, this is the first chapter in your SSC textbook, 10th class. Let us discuss what is reflection of light at curved surfaces. So, we are going to discuss a lot of things in this chapter. We are going to talk about a lot of technical terms in this chapter. But before, if you want to understand those concepts, but you need to have some basic knowledge in uh, the basic knowledge of some technical terms. So let me explain. Let me start with the what is reflection. You might have a doubt what is reflection is. Before discussing the reflection, I want to clear you one thing. For example, if you take a rubber ball, if there is a rubber ball in your hand, if there is a rubber ball in your hand, and if you hit that rubber ball to the wall, what happens? Just think, it will come back to you again in any direction. If you are hitting a ball to a wall, if you are hitting a ball to a wall, the ball is bouncing back. I mean, it is coming back. Or if you hit a ball to the earth, I mean the floor, what will happen? The ball will raise up. According to the Newton's thought law, for every action there is equal and opposite reaction. Similarly, it is not same. I am telling it similarly. This person is holding. This person is holding one surface. What surface? What is that surface? It is not. It is not a transparent surface. Transparent surface, you know. For example, if you take a hold a glass, if you send a light through it, it will come back from the other end. But it is a non-transparent surface. I mean, it is a mirror. It is a plain mirror. He is holding a plain mirror in front of a sun. Sunlight is falling on it. This is an incident light ray, and it is reflecting back, making there is an angle between the incident ray and reflected ray, right? This is what the reflection is. There is a some hidden concept present in between in this. I mean, in this concept. What is the hidden uh, concept? Is loss of reflection. What is the loss of reflection? Let us understand like this. For example, this is a mirror. I'm explaining you the first law of reflection, my dear friends. Here is the first law of reflection. I'll read out the definition, but let me explain the concept. For example, if I incident a light like this, at this point A, I'll call this point as A. And at this point, if I want to draw a normal, what is a normal? A line drawn perpendicular to that point. This line is perpendicular to the surface. Now, when a light is incident on this, with making some angle theta I, the light will get reflected back like this. Yes or no? In that case, the reflected ray is making an angle theta r. Incident angle I is making angle theta I1. Reflecting light is making an angle theta r. I mean theta r. So according to first law of reflection, theta I is equals to theta r. In general, the angle made by the incident light with normal at the point of incidence will get reflected back, making equal angle with the normal. This is the first law of reflection. In simple words, the angle made by the incident light ray with normal is equals to angle made by the reflected light ray with normal. Both are same, is equal. This is a first law of reflection. What is second law of reflection, my dear friends? The second law of reflection talks like this. The incident light ray, the reflected light ray, and the normal, all of them lie in a same plane. See, incident light ray, reflected light ray, and normal, all of them are in same plane or not? This is a plane, two-dimensional axis, xy axis. All of them are in the same plane or not? This is y-axis. This is x-axis. All of them are in same plane or not. So that is the first law of reflection. Is it clear? Okay. If you understand this first law of reflection, then you can understand this topic very well. So to make you understand a little bit, I took some picture here. I hope this picture is clear for you all now. This is first law of reflection. This is a basic understanding you need to have to study this chapter. But this chapter is not about the plane surfaces, right? This chapter is about the curved surfaces. Then what is curved surface? What is curved surface? This chapter is about curved surfaces. Yes, not plane surfaces. But this first law of reflection is also applicable. It's also true for all surfaces like curved surface or plane surface. The law is same. The law is same that we are going to discuss in detail in going further. Is it clear? Okay. Now, in this chapter, these are all the topics we are going to discuss. These are all the very important points. What is mirror? We will discuss what is mirror is. Types of mirrors, types of curved mirrors. We have three types of curved mirrors. That is plane mirror. Curved mirrors are of two types. Plane mirror is one. Concave mirror, convex mirror. There are three types of mirrors, but altogether mirrors are of two types. Mirrors are divided into two types. That is plane and spherical. Plane and spherical. That we are going to discuss what are the types of mirrors that we study in this chapter. And how curved mirrors are formed. If spherical mirrors are there, how they are formed. Next, that we are going to discuss in this topic. And some important keywords like principal axis, pole, center of curvature, focus related to the spherical mirrors we are going to discuss. Okay. Next, finding the normal to the curved surfaces, curved mirrors. How to find the normal to the curved surface. For a plane surface, it is very easy, right? For example, at this point, if you want to draw a normal, draw a line perpendicular to this point. Katam over. This is a normal drawn to the plane surface at that point. But when you come to the spherical mirror, the concept is going to be a little bit different. That we are going to discuss finding the normal to the curved surface. It's laws of reflection for a curved mirror that we are going to discuss again. Rules to draw the ray diagram for concave and convex mirror that we are going to discuss in detail in this chapter. It's ray diagrams for a concave and convex mirrors that we are going to discuss. Formula for spherical mirrors, magnification of a spherical mirror. Sometimes, my dear friends, lens, generally lens magnification lens are there. It is going to enlarge the picture, diminish the image, enlarge the image. But spherical mirrors are also going to do that. How? We will discuss here. For example, if you are showing a small object, there is in front of a mirror. If you want to see that object very large, you can use a spherical mirror. How that is going to work, that we'll study here. Numerical problems related to the spherical mirrors we are going to discuss in this chapter, and numerical problems on magnification factor as well, and applications of concave and convex mirrors. This is very important. Where do we apply these concave and convex mirrors in our daily life? So if a plane mirror is used everywhere, if you think like that, then why do we study this concept, right? So plane mirror is not used everywhere. Spherical mirrors have a different dimension of applications that we are going to discuss in detail in this chapter. After completing this chapter, you will have a complete picture over the spherical mirrors. You can answer any question in this chapter without having any problem after knowing all these concepts. But my suggestion for you, don't focus on the marks. Marks, definitely you will get marks. But if you focus more on the subject, if you understand the concepts very well, then you could get full out of full marks in this chapter. And this is very easy chapter, very tricky chapter also, if you don't understand the basics. So stick to the basics. Every time stick to the basics and learn the chapter. Is it clear for you? Thank you.